What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Zach. I know I brought this up before, but I want to talk about it again because I know a lot of people need it. And that is this: how is your mental health? How is your mental health? Please be 100% honest with me on this. Whatever's bothering you, tell me, and we'll talk through it. Because, again, chances are, maybe I've been through the same thing as you. Maybe I haven't. But either way, we'll talk through it. I'm with you every step of the way. So with that said, how is your mental health? You know, I know a lot of people mental health is not good. You see a lot of people with disabilities, and those people, well, they tend to get screwed with a lot. And yes, I'm one of those. And again, like I said, I was bullied 3 times, almost 4 times, just because I've got a wheelchair. All because of my balance. That's all my loved ones find benefit effects. And like I said, I'm 36, and my whole life I've never been on one date yet, or relationship. Because too many females are judgmental. I'm not saying no. Not everybody is. Don't get me wrong. There's actually some really good people out there. But for me, yeah, I've dealt with that. There is too many judgmental people, females. And it sucks. Because like I said, the only reason I'm sitting down is just because of my balance. It's on my level 1 spinal benefit effects. And now, I'll put it this way to you. No, I don't show tears. The only time I had tears in my eyes is if I'm by myself. If I'm by myself, then yes. Not that I'm scared, to show my tears. No. I'm one that's been through it, like I said, my whole life. And it literally sucks. For somebody that's 36 and still never been through dates or relationships, even has a hard time, trying to find a working job because of sitting down. It literally bites you in the ass. It sucks. As far as like dating wise, I get somebody, I'll ask somebody out, and in my face be like, yeah, I'm just taking a break. And then all of a sudden, boom, there was somebody else. Or one instance that happened to me a while back, I'll just say that. I asked somebody out to my face. They told me they were taking a break. And as soon as I turned around to leave where I was at, they called me fake. And pointed at me when they said it. Now, a lot of people, yes, when they do things like that, they'll laugh at you. And I I've been laughed at more than I can tell you. You know, I've been laughed at. I've been through it all. A lot more than what people realize. And you know, for this to say, you know, some people might listen, listen to this and say, he's just getting attention. He's all talk, you know. And no, I'm not all talk. These are true things, 100% true. And, you know, some people don't realize that. Why? Because they've never been through it. You know, to them, things are all just, you know, peachy, you know. So let me say it this way. For everybody that's walking, put yourself in those shoes of somebody that's got a wheelchair, or, you know, somebody that's got some type of disability, you know, and see how you like it. You know, see how you like getting, you know, judged and picked on and, you know, bullied. See how you like it. Because I guarantee you won't like it. And no, it's not fun. It literally hurts big time. Especially the judgment, you know, from females that I've gotten. You know, I'm just giving you that experience, you know, as one experience that I've been through. You know, or that I've been through more than once, yes, but still, that's just one scenario that I've been through that really fucked with me. There's just no other way to say it. And it messed with my mind a lot more than what people think. And with that said, let me say it this way to you. You know, sometimes you're gonna, a lot of times I'll say it that way. You'll see, you know, to the people that are walking, you know, you'll see people walking, and you'll be, maybe you're on a walker, or you're in a wheelchair, or crutches, or even a walking cane. And you'll see, you know, you'll be the one that's in a wheelchair, or on a cane, or on a walker, and that person that you made fun of, or that you bullied or judged, they're walking. Let's reverse this a little bit. Now we're saying the person that's in a wheelchair or on a walker, we're saying that they're walking, and you're the one in a wheelchair. Now the roles have switched. Now you've got them, and they're making fun of you. They're bullying and judging you because you're in a wheelchair, or you're on a walker or crutches. And suddenly, you don't like it anymore, do you? So, with that said, think about how you're handling things. You know, look at that person that's on a walker, that's on crutches, you know, or that's walking with crutches, or, you know, in a wheelchair. Now, take that wheelchair away from them. Take that walker away from them. take those crutches away from them, or that cane away from them, and what do you have? I'm asking you that question. What do you have? Because that's the answer I know. But I'm asking you, what do you have? Because when you take somebody that has a disability, that they have to use a walker, or they have to use a wheelchair, or crutches, or a walking cane, or a walker, just depending on what their disability is, okay? Take that away from them. What do you have? You have a 100% true human with a just, and the only thing that's different about them is how they have to get around. You might get from point A to point B in a matter of 5 minutes. Okay? Now, it might take that person that's in a wheelchair to go from point A to point B. It might take them 10 or 15 minutes to do the exact same thing you did. It's going to may take them 5 or 10 minutes longer to do. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's what people need to realize. Like I said, I've got so many people out there that I've known that have disabilities that have got messed with, and that's not cool to mess with nobody. That's not cool to mess with nobody. Because a person's disability, depending on what that disability is, can cause them, to do things at a lot slower, at a slower pace. They might not be able to do things as fast as you. So really, again, as I've said last time, think about it. A person really with a disability doesn't have a disability except for the fact that it's the same things that you can do. They can do the exact same things that you can do. And in some cases, they might have to do things a lot slower. Another example, take a track, like a high school track at a high school, when you run track, you might be able to run a mile in 10 minutes. I'm just throw time at you. You might be able to run a mile in 10 minutes, and that's on your feet. You might be able to run a mile in 10 minutes. Now, a person like myself in a wheelchair can also do the exact same thing and run that mile, which is 4 laps around a high school track. Now, what took you 10 minutes might take someone like me 15 to 20 minutes. So it's going to take me might take me a little bit longer. Again, you think about it, it's all upper body. It's all upper body, that I'm using. Wheeling a wheelchair all the way around a track. So it's going to take me, a little bit longer. Well, besides, let me ask you this. besides the fact that I took longer than someone else to get around a track, to run a mile, or to, well, in my case, with the wheelchair wheel mile, I took longer than that person. What's the difference there? The only difference is the time limit that it took the person that was walking on their feet or running on their feet versus someone that's in a wheelchair, which I'll just say myself in a wheelchair. You know, I'm one of those. Yes, this was back in high school. I ran the mile. I did the mile, which is 4 laps around a high school track. High school track. So I did the mile. Was my time slower than others? Yes, it was. But did I still get it done and do things? Yes, I did. And yes, I did it with the wheelchair. So again, with that said, what's holding you back from, doing what you want to do? I mean, you should be able to have, even though you're in a wheelchair, you're on crutches or a walker, or whatever, any kind of disability that you have, you should be able to do the exact same things as everybody else. Yeah, it might take you longer to do something, but that's okay. That's more than okay. Because remember, again, nobody in this world is perfect. Nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect. I don't claim to be perfect. But we're all perfect in someone's eyes. So one person can look at you and say, they're perfect. Okay? You're not perfect. Nobody's perfect. But you're perfect in that person's eyes. Now, again, yeah, I was made fun of a lot. More than what people think. Because of just sitting down. And the thing of it is, because I'm sitting down, so many people thought they'd get away with it. Females or, and that's just trying to, name something here. Or, trying to give you some examples. Like, as far as dating, females turn me down a bunch over 18 or more years, probably 18 years now, thinking, oh, he can just get away with it, and he won't say nothing. He's in a wheelchair. Well, I got news for you. My whole life, I dealt with a lot of things, so. And yeah, I may not go, somebody might not like the way I go about things. And that's understandable. Everybody's got their own opinion. For example, as well, I used to be the one that, what's this? I used to be the one that had a lot of low statuses that I would post, on my social media. That's been a while now, but And yes, a lot of it had to do with dating. And it seemed like, you know, we go in one ear and right out the other. And yes, I lost a lot of people because of it too. And it sucks. You know, at this day and age, it seemed like, people are all past that. And it sucks. Because that was, one thing that I wanted to get. Especially from my dad, I wanted to see it. Wanted to see me, with that. But, wanted to see me with one woman, I mean. But let me tell you this. It sucks because, you know what? I'm just as human as everybody else. And so are you. You on the other side of the screen, no matter what your disability is, you're just as human as everybody else. So many people are too busy focusing on someone's disability versus, oh, look, there's a person with a disability. Okay, they have a disability, but look at that person as they don't have a disability. Look at them as a human, I guess, that's the way I want to say it. Because when you look at somebody as a human and look past their disability, you might see a whole different side of them. Like I said, some people, yes, will go through a hell of a lot more than others. It depends on what card you're dealt with. But I say, play those cards. And first, those cards might not be the best cards. But even if they're not the best cards, they can still turn to the best cards. And that's what a lot of people, I feel like, don't understand. Is when you look at somebody, say you look at somebody, with any kind of disability there is, okay? You got somebody either with a walker, with crutches, with a walking cane, or even like myself, a wheelchair. Take that walker away from that person. Take that walking cane away from that person. Take those crutches away from that person. Or take that wheelchair away from that person. Just as you saw me a lot of times, when I've done my YouTube videos, I've sat out of the wheelchair. I've sat on my bed. And what do you have? Yeah, sure the hell don't see a wheelchair, do you? You know why you don't see it? Well, obviously because I'm out of it, but because you're dealing with a 100% human, the 100% different, but 100% true story about them. So always remember that. Before judging, think about those things. And you'll be real surprised at what you see, because when you focus on someone, you focus on their, when you focus on someone's heart, you see a person, right? So here's my challenge for you. If maybe you are or if you got somebody that's either on a walker or crutches or even a wheelchair or even a walking cane, and that person tries to ask you out, or that person asks you out on a date, my challenge to you is accept and go. And go with them. Then come back and tell me what you see. And, come back and tell me how things went. And things that you notice. Because I guarantee you, when you're with somebody that's with a disability, take that disability away from them. What do you have? You have a 100% human with a 100% different, but 100% true story about them. So think about that. I know it's late in life, for a lot of people. As I'm 36 years old, and I still have never been on dates or relationships. And I wish, But again, because I'm in a wheelchair, it's never happened for me. I'm using me for an example because, again, I don't know everybody's situation. Put it that way. And like I said, I have no judgment on people at all. So, if as far as we'll just say dating, we'll just say that. I would date somebody in a wheelchair. But then again, I don't have, I have a truck. I'm not sure how I would do that. As far as having another wheelchair. Now, with that said, also, even though I was born with spina bifida, I don't see myself as a person with a disability because, and I'll say this because of my level 1 spina bifida only affects my balance. That's it. So I don't really see myself as someone with a disability. It's more of just my balance, and that's it. So, I don't see myself with a disability. So, yes, again, things like that always got to me big time. And, again, it's this late in life. I still wish I wish I had, I got the same chances all you fellas out there got, with that's been, through dates and relationships with good people. We'll put it that way, because, there's people out there that are disrespectful. But with that said, even though there's disrespectful people out there, yes, there is really good people out there that know you've got a good heart, and they know you're a good person. And yeah, you still might get turned down by them, but it won't be from judgment. Chances are they're already with somebody or taken, or whatever the case may be. But again, like I said, there's those bad apples out there that are very, very judgmental. Just trust them. I can tell you that from a fact. So, with that said, just keep being you. I'm proud of you. And I got much love for each and every one of you. I got much love for y'all, all of you, and like I said, I wouldn't be sitting here doing YouTube right now if I didn't really care about anything, you know, um, or really care about anyone, or or your situations, and like I said, I do care. One of the reasons, like I said, that I go on about me, I don't know your situation because I never been through your situation. Now, with that said, I don't know your situation unless you tell me your situation. If you tell me your situation, I might, I'll be able to understand it better. I mean, no, I still won't be able to, fully understand it because I've never been through that situation. Because there's some things I've never been through, situations wise. As far as like disability goes. But, like I said, watch how you treat people. Think about it that way, though. Take their, don't physically take it away from them, in your mind. Look at that person and in your mind, look at them without that walker or those crutches or that cane, and look at them just saying just like you. So what's that make them? 100% human. They're 100% different, but 100% true story about them. So remember that. Just think about that. Just keep that in your mind. When you see a person with a disability, look at them as, oh, they got a disability. And then get a visual in your mind of that person without their wheelchair or their walker or their crutches or even walking cane. And what do you have? You have a 100% human. I mean, yeah, they might have a disability, but you take those things away from them that I mentioned. Don't physically take it away from them because, that's how they get around. But mentally, it's your mind, in your mind, subtract those things away. And, subtract those things away from that person. And what do you have? You have a 100% human with a 100% different, but 100% true story about them. With that said, yes, I am making this a working, paying job. And with that said, as I talk to you, as I do every YouTube video, that's how I grew up. I grew up with a loving mom, loving dad. But as I said, my dad passed away February 6th, 2019, from a massive heart attack. Only 59 years old. And that was one of the things that he wanted to see, was me have a girlfriend and me have a working job, a working paid job. And that's one of the reasons behind this, that I want to make this a working paid job. Because again, yes, I would myself would like to have a job, working paid job, but that's the other reason, as I just mentioned. So again, with that said, keep going, keep being you, and let nothing or no one hold you back. Again, If you comment if you comment on this YouTube video or any YouTube video, when I reply to your comment and I see that you have a YouTube channel and I see that I'm not subscribed to you, then I will subscribe to you. If I look at your comment, or when I look at your comment and I see that I am subscribed, I'm still gonna like your comment and I'm still gonna reply to your comment. With that said, again, if there's anything that you would like to hear, let me know, and I'll get that done for you, and we'll go, go from there. If there's anything like that maybe you want to talk about, let me know. We'll get it done. I got you. Let's get it.